Meet the makers. 1 ticket, 3 days, 100 experts under one roof. And we have one expert with us right now, and her name's Monica Kaiser. Welcome, Monica.
Thank you.
You are one of the experts at this very show.
Finally, one of the experts.
How long have you been an expert?
Oh, I don't know. I've been in business for a little while now, design and construction.
And so what sort of things do you do specifically?
I do all types of renovations, kitchens, bathrooms, additions, custom homes.
You are a carpenter.
I am a carpenter, that's right, with a background in design as well. So my company takes the project right through from the conception of the designs to the construction.
So now, people who are constantly redoing their homes, do they have to call you guys in to fix things up? Or are people taking it upon themselves even though they really don't know what they're doing a lot of the time?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I think usually when people take it on themselves, they kind of know what they're doing. I find today a lot of the problem is that they just don't have time. So.
Yeah, well, it can be a very big project. I know you've talked about stuff that you've done in the home already, and it's very time consuming.
Yeah, it is very time consuming.
But it's fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, what I'm finding though is if I start a project and it just gets bigger and out of control, I try to hire somebody, there's nobody there to hire. Or it takes months upon months to actually have somebody come in and help you. Why is that?
Well, there's a real shortage of people in the skilled trades nowadays. There's not very many people who've gone into it in the last decade or so. I think most people were going into high tech and professions. So it's a serious problem in our industry to get good workers. Part of the problem is it just wasn't a very respected field, I think, in some respects, and it should be. It's very honorable work.
Totally.
Oh yeah, and once again, you can make a lot of money doing this.
Nowadays you can, yeah. It's a really good time to be in my field.
All right, so what are people doing to their houses these days? What is the popular rooms? Are kitchens popular?
Kitchens are always popular. They tend to be the heart of the home, and it's always nice to have a really comfortable kitchen that works well on every level, socially and sort of just functionally. So a lot of people are redoing their kitchens. Bathrooms are always a really good one, and there's a very high return rate when you sell your home on those renovations. I find a lot of people are adding on additions right now for family rooms, and they just want a nice big space that the whole family can enjoy.
Well, putting up a coat of paint is something different than creating a whole new structure.
Yeah.
And should people really get the professionals in for something of that magnitude, do you think?
Well, yes, I think it's really important because a lot of time if you do an addition to the house, it's really important to marry it with the existing architecture so that it feels like it's always been there and it enhances things rather than sometimes I've seen additions put on that are sort of they just don't fit with the rest of the house and they make the other rooms redundant. So it is really important to have a professional there, I think, to give you the perspective on how to make your home work better.
Right.
So at Lansdowne Park this weekend, it's called the Interiors and Renovation Show. What are people going to find there?
I believe there's 100 exhibitors or so, and they're from all different backgrounds. There's designers, interior designers, architects, contractors. There's going to be different booths, and you'll have an opportunity to meet with the contractors and the professionals and talk about your design needs and hopefully develop a little bit of a rapport because the relationship between we're coming into your home and you're going to kind of live with us for a while. They call drywall dust divorce dust for a reason. So it's really good to have a good relationship with whoever you're working with, and so it'll be an opportunity to sort of start building that.
I think when people get you guys to come in too, they have to have an open mind. I think sometimes people say, yeah, come on in and just change it a little bit. But don't you find it's more fun and more fun for them once you really change up the room a lot more than they expected?
It's interesting because I really have to feel confident about what I'm going into, and more what I'm finding is if a client has really considered their home, they know it intimately and they'll come up with something, and sometimes it'll take me a while to get there, but I'll often realize, no, they know their home intimately and this is the right direction to go, and then just to enhance it a little bit to do it as nicely as we can. But sometimes it's true. Sometimes they're not sort of seeing the whole picture, and it's fun to sort of say, well, did you think about this and how we could make it that much nicer?
Yeah, like it's blue.
Yeah.
Just paint it light blue.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Now, why is there such a boom for home renovations right now with the TV shows and on every street corner there's Home Depots? Why is there this boom in the last, 4 or 5 years?
I don't know. I think it's partly because people miss having an opportunity to work, and it's so satisfying, and it's such a lovely thing to work with one's hands. I remember when I first started out, my father said to me, if you work with your hands, you'll learn to trust yourself, and it's proved so true. There's a lot of gratification in making things beautiful, and it's there forever. It's not like sort of cleaning or gardening, which it's not always present. So I think it's become a lot more accessible, which is wonderful, and as it should be, because it tends to be very logical, simple work. To do it well requires a certain patience and a craft, but it's accessible to people.
And I think our lives are getting busier and busier. This gives you the opportunity to take a step back, focus in on something, and really kind of relax in a different kind of a way.
Yeah, it is relaxing, and I think community things like Habitat for Humanity are wonderful because it gets people out there building, and it just shows us all that we can work together as a community, which is great.
And you can get your family involved too, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And get the spouses working together, except for wallpapering. You're never supposed to wallpaper. Is that true? I've never had to wallpaper with my spouse.
I don't know.
I've heard bad things. All right, so you're going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Lansdowne Park. We have a couple passes right now to the Interiors and Renovations Show. If you want to give us a call, 759-8622, 759-8622. They are great tickets. They're yours. First come, first serve. Monica, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks,
And
Mike.
enjoy the show this weekend. It's going to be a
Thanks.
blast. Lots more daytime around the corner, some live music, 67's tickets, and a slew of other things. You don't want to go anywhere. Thanks for watching Rogers Television.